Hi guys, my name is John. This might be a Mosul orb, or it might be a piece of scrap. About a year ago I started trying to figure this out. I wrote it up in story form. I'm going to post that in my community page on YouTube. I'm going to release this to YouTube and see where it goes. It's a crazy story. I might have experienced psychic contact with something other than human. I don't know what it is, and no, I haven't been probed, and I haven't been kidnapped or any of that stuff. It starts in my childhood, really. When I was 15 years old, that was in 1980. I was born in 1964. When I was 15 years old, I saw a UFO along with my father. I've written most of that story up, and I'm going to post that, like I said, on my community page. The weird thing is that memory was buried. It came up during a YouTube video. This happened about 2 years ago. New York Post, Stephen Greenstreet. He interviewed a former government official involved in this UFO stuff. Guy's name's Lou Elizondo. I've since figured out he's kind of a controversial figure in the UFO community. I don't know anything about the man, really. I just know that what he said triggered something in me. And it's weird that what he said was edited out of the video. If you go to part 2 of that interview at 1 minute and 26 seconds, you can see where something was cut. What he said, and I'm paraphrasing, is that the only technology that would explain all 5 observables is the control of time. Now, when he said that, I don't know why he said it. I don't know why it was cut. That's all coincidence. Who knows? When he said that, it triggered a memory in me, and it triggered that UFO thing that me and my dad saw. Now, I was living with my dad at the time. Now, he's since passed away, and that's a whole story I'm going to try to avoid in this short video I'm doing, more or less as an update about this. But you guys need to know that, and know that I was under a lot of stress since about November 2019. You see, he broke his hip. I had to AMA him out of a home, and I took care of him for a long time. That's part of the story, really. Now, while I was caring for him, I started trying to figure out ways to make money. And in early 2021, I started getting ideas. And they started flowing into my mind, started writing them down, things I thought of. Not anything earth-shattering like anti-gravity or stuff, but simple things that we could maybe use to work more efficiently as human beings. Now, I've been to a couple of lawyers for that stuff, and local lawyers, and they say something's there, but they don't know how to approach it. They would have to get me referrals out to big places. And I talked to a couple of trusted people about it, and they say something's there. But that's all I'm going to say about it right now. I also get stuff called downloads. That's when stuff comes into my head from elsewhere. It happens real rare, but I've included an example of a download that I got that's about sound therapy. Now, I don't know if it's real. Who knows, that kind of thing. I don't have the money to pursue that, but if somebody did have the money to pursue it, it might help people. I don't know. Now, what happened was when my dad got hurt and I had to care for him, and all this stuff started coming into my head from elsewhere, and then I saw that UFO video with Elizondo, and it triggered the memory of the UFO. Well, I thought maybe there's a connection there between UFOs, what I'm experiencing. I don't really know. So I started looking around and trying to figure out how to make some kind of contact. There's a guy named Greer and he's got protocols out there for contact, and there's other people who do that kind of thing. They call it CE5. I think it's a real thing. I've seen evidence of that. Anyway, I figured I would do my own thing to try to make contact with whatever those things were. You were giving me those ideas, and I used kind of a mantra that was freedom, expansion, evolution, and cooperation. Those are the transmissions that I made as much as I could. I started getting stuff back. I don't know if it's real or not. It could be in my head. Like I say, I was under a lot of stress. My dad just passed in July, the 28th of July, and I've had to go through the funeral and lots of things. So I'm still under a little bit of stress, dealing with all the stuff from that, like people have to do. During that time, I want to mention that in 2019, when all this started, in 20, and then 21, and then 22, man, it's been a ride. It's been crazy for me. I've been having to take care of my father during all that time. Now in, when was that? Last year in November, I had a friend come and support me through getting my dad into hospice. I just want to take a moment during this thing, talking about weird stuff, to mention hospice and families and dying. And I will be forever grateful for that, to that person, for helping me make that decision. It was one of the better decisions that I made. When Dad went away to the home, he was only there about 4 months. They were there and they helped. They helped me, they helped him. And I really appreciate that suggestion. And if anybody's going through a family member, going through that kind of thing, hospice might be something to consider. Anyway, I'm sorry for the emotions. This thing is what my dad got. 1972 is about when I remember him getting it. He found it in a prison, the yard of a prison he was working in Waycross, Georgia. The story goes, now I got this from him, now he's passed away, so I guess you'll have to trust me on this. The story I got from him is this was in the yard of the institution he was working at. And the prisoners, convicts, had to mow around it. And they didn't know how long it had been there. It had been there within institutional memory of the place. So who knows how long that was. Anyway, they thought it was a ball and chain because it's got a mark on it right here. I don't know if you can see that, a half moon thing. It looks like a plug that slipped to the side. It's weird. And there's another mark right here where I drilled it for samples. They thought it was a ball and chain because of that. It's also got two other parts that are places here that look like the skin has moved, and another one on the other side. Anyway, it's been sitting in the yard since '72. It's one of those buried memory things for me. It's like that UFO experience with Elizondo, so it makes it strange. During these contact things that I get sometimes, rarely, every once in a while I get what feels like communication. It's kind of two-way. And I was asked a question once, and it was, what would it take to prove we exist? Now, I don't know what I'm talking to. I don't know what it was in my head. Who knows? Could be my imagination. I responded it would have to be something that could not damage us, that would be safe for a human to be around, something we could study, something that would help us, and something that I could move. And that all happened before I remembered this thing. Now, what brought back this memory was a release to YouTube by a guy named Ross Coulthart, I believe is his name. It's a 7 News documentary, and I'm including links to these things in the thing I'm posting, that kick it back up. It was August 21st of 2022. Crazy. Anyway, that's when I remembered this thing. And that's when I tried to start getting samples sent out and started talking to people about it. Now, I can't say if it's unusual. but I can't find anything that's been produced by humans that looks and weighs and has the dimensions and the structure of this. It doesn't produce any radiation I can detect. It's not a BET sphere. There's no writings on it that I can see. You can see marks where it's been hit by farm equipment, and I beat on it with hammers as a child, man. I sent out some samples. I drilled it, sent some samples off. I'm going to put that video up as well on my channel. It's been about a year. One test was anomalous. In other words, it was really weird, what I saw. The other was inconclusive. I did not see results from that. And the other has not returned to me yet. I don't have any results from that yet. Now, I can't afford to do the kind of testing I would like to have done on this. I would like to have it, scanned, x-rayed, all that kind of stuff. And I would also need to have electron microscope time and people who could interpret that, and material science and all that other kind of crap. Now, I can't afford to do that. I need someone to help me do that. So I'm kind of reaching out to the community, and this could still be scrap. I don't know. I could be nuts. Don't know. It's a mystery right now. But I think that's all I'm going to say for this video. I think that's enough information for you guys. And I hope you all are blessed wherever you are, and you experience all the good things in life coming your way.